Hello, I'm Will Wallace, and today I'll be talking to you about human actions that are causing climate change. Imagine a world where Miami is underwater, where wildfires rage year round in California, and where clean air becomes a luxury, not a right. That might sound like a setting of a movie, but it's not fiction. It's very clear in the direction we're heading if it continues on our current path. Climate change is not a distant threat, it's already here, and it's not being caused by mysterious natural cycles. It's being driven by us, by the way we live, by the way we consume, and by the way we power our world. The science is clear. Human activity is heating the planet and disabling the very systems we depend on: air, water, food, and shelter. This is one of the greatest challenges we've ever faced, and we're the only ones that can stop it from getting worse. Today, I'll walk you through three key points: how human actions are directly fueling climate change, why this matters, and most importantly, the bold policy actions we can take to fix it before it's too late. Let's start with the facts. The Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, or the IPCC, is a global body of thousands of scientists who have studied this issue for decades. According to their most recent reports, the Earth's average surface temperatures between 2010 and 2022 was about 1.15 degrees Celsius higher than it was before. This might sound small, but it's really not. In fact, over land where people actually live and grow, the average increase was 1.65 degrees. That's a massive shift, enough to cause coral reefs to die off, crop seasons to change, and deadly heat waves to increase in frequency and intensity. NASA confirms this by stating the last 9 years have been the hottest on record ever. Not the past decade, not the past century, ever in record history. And we're already feeling these consequences. Here in the United States, we've seen entire towns destroyed by wildfires in California, communities along the Gulf Coast battering by stronger hurricanes, states like Arizona and Texas suffering from droughts and water shortages. These climate driven disasters are more than just headlines, they're life altering events. They destroy homes, take lives, and cause billions of dollars in damage every single year. But here's the thing: climate change doesn't impact everyone equally. Low income communities and rural areas often bear the worst of it because they tend to live on high risk zones, the floodplains or near industrial sites, and they have fewer resources to recover from these disasters, and they are left out of the decision making conversations. Psychologist Michael Corleone points how rural and indigenous communities are frequently ignored in environmental policy, even though they face some of the most extreme consequences. That is not just unjust, it's ineffective, and we can solve a crisis if we leave the vulnerability behind. The cause. Number one is fossil fuels. Burning coal, oil, and natural gases is the largest source of greenhouse gases. These fuels power homes, cars, and factories, but at a steep cost. According to research, Keys, fossil fuels combustion and responsible for 75% of all human caused greenhouse gas emissions. Number two is industrial agriculture. Massive livestock operations release methane, a gas 25 times more potent than CO2. Fertilizers and manure pollute water sources and degrade soil. This form of agriculture may be efficient in short term but deeply unstable. Deforestation. Forests absorb CO2, and then we cut them down, release the carbon back into the atmosphere. According to researchers Ross Gorte and Perceive Sikik, logging in on tropics alone contributes significantly to global warming and takes away from our natural defenses. These causes feed into each other, creating a dangerous feedback loop. Deforestation leads to heat, which leads to a drought, which worsens fires, which releases carbon, and the cycle continues. A few stakeholders in this problem are governments and policymakers. They create the rules and they control subsidies for fossil fuels, write environment regulations, and fund renewable energy. Their decisions can speed up the process or slow it down. Another one is local communities. From indigenous nations to urban neighborhoods, these groups experience the effects of climate change hand first. They often bring knowledge, lived experience, and leadership that top down institutions lack. Now let's talk about solutions. One of the most powerful tools that we have is carbon pricing. Polluters pay a fee for every ton of carbon dioxide they emit. This creates an economic incentive to switch to cleaner energy. Countries such as Sweden and Canada have implemented this, and according to the World Ocean Review, they've seen measurable reductions in emissions. Better yet, the money collected through carbon pricing can be used to fund renewable energy projects like solar and wind, create green jobs in manufacturing and construction, and offer rebates or cashback to low income households to offset higher energy costs. We also need to invest in clean public transportation, support reforestation and conservation efforts, and transition to sustainable farming practices that protect the soil and reduce the methane emissions. Let's go back to where we started. Climate change is real and it's happening now. We're the ones that are driving it. But here's the good news, that means we're also the ones that can stop it. We hold polluters accountable, we invest in clean energy, and we reforest the planet and build resilient communities. We can make sure that every voice, especially those who are most effective and that are part of the solution. The planet isn't doomed and it's still in our hands, but the window is closing. Let's be the generation who chooses to act, not ignore. Those